Good morning, this is totally random.
Featuring Franz Maruna and Andrew Embler.
Welcome to Totally Random. This is the 29th of a month. I'm Franz. This is Andy. This is your weekly chit-chat and news show about concrete5. I'll level with you. We're not that prepared today. Andy's a little hungover, and
some fancy free.
I spent the last hour working on some docs instead of doing any kind of agenda for this show.
Oh yeah.
So, in exciting news, Robert got a haircut. Looks awesome. And we launched the docs. So we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks. It's worth showing off. Can we do a little screeny thing there, Matt?
Sure can. One second while I get that together.
Okay, well we'll fire it up here in a second. You know, these are far from perfect, but they are user docs for the in-page editing experience and every part of the dashboard.
That's a lot of parts.
It's a lot of parts, and been a long time coming. Should have probably been done a long time ago, but yeah, it's up now, and oh, there we go. Now you're looking at our site. If you go to the documentation thing there, radio, and yeah, right up there. Oh, we kept the old one around for 5.4 just because, you know, some of you haven't upgraded, don't know why, but yeah, if you scroll down just on this page, you can probably give them a quick sense as to what all is in there. Ooh, got the zoom. So yeah, so you guys see on the left there, we got all the in-context editing stuff. On the right, we've got everything in the dashboard. Just scroll all the way down and blow them away with the sheer volume of pages. Yes, voluminous. Anyway, yeah, there's information about all sorts of exciting details and tidbits in there. There's also the nice cross-post block where you can ask a question that ends up over in the forums where people can help, and that way we don't have these abandoned guestbook comments and all fancy. We will do another pass as things continue to mature to kind of catch typos and add flush out more detail. But it's there. It's looking good. Happy to have it.
Yeah, a lot of nice screenshots in there. A lot of time.
Stuff. Pictures.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's the news. I don't think anyone else there. More news? No.
No, not that I know.
All right, that's the news. What do you think about Karma?
I think Karma's good.
Let's do some Karma.
Open that machine.
Let's open the machine.
And the weekly Karma winners, come on down.
All right. Who are the winners this week? Our community of contributors leveraging the synergy of the masses, unifying. Oh, here we go.
Come on, Andrew.
For helping people, we've got
Echo.
Nice. What do you win?
Discussion forum.
Sweet! For promoting the project, we've got
Agents Coteo.
Okay, what'd they win?
Secret questions.
Ooh. Oh. For working.
Got Sinlag.
Alright. What'd they win?
Domain Mapper.
That's a good one. That's gold. Map them. Sweet! Alright, well thank you very much. That is our weekly Karma winners. So everyone who's contributed to the community by helping people in the forums, you can you know, get some points for answering the thread or making the a post that's so great it becomes the official answer.
Posting, verifying bugs.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Promoting the project, equally important. Got to keep things growing. Thank you. And then of course just doing the work. You know, submitting stuff to the PRB, working in Git, that type of thing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's very exciting to be part of something that is growing so quickly with so many people helping.
Yeah.
That may segue well to the Get and Git. We haven't done that for a long time. Do you have a Get and Git intro there, Matt? Can we?
What did we get and get?
Today's what did we get and Git entry is actually from M. Locati, and I don't think I sent you an email, but that's a
congratulations in advance.
And this is he rewrote the generate sitemap job This is the sitemap.xml file that's used by Google and other search engines. He rewrote that to be a bit more performant and also a bit easier to read and to take advantage of some more defaults. So if, for example, you wanted, there's the ability to change a priority or a change frequency on an individual page using a custom attribute, but there's no way to change what Concrete uses as defaults for everything if you don't set that without forking that job and just rewriting it. And so he added some constants for that and made it a bit more configurable if you know what to do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, that's great. Yeah, that is something that everyone who's concerned about SEO needs, that sitemap.xml file that search engines like Google look for. And
I think there were also some instances where perhaps pages that were deleted were still showing up because they were in the trash and not actually deleted. He fixed that bug and some other bugs too. So
nice.
It's very helpful.
Very helpful. Nice encapsulated problem.
Yep.
Easy to
Easy
test.
to verify, easy to
Not
test.
break anything else by adding some new feature here.
Exactly.
Great stuff. Where are we at? What do we do now?
I think we're done.
Sweet. No, I think it's time for the PRB.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
We need some choices.
Let's do some. Where's Greg? Let's open the PRB and find out what Greg Joyce is up to these days.
Introducing Great Choice by Greg Joyce.
All right.
Every time.
Greg, you are down there on the streets, in the field, and it looks like you're making a choice here that I'm not entirely clear or sure. Looks like a very good one.
person's head? I
What
don't
are you
understand.
doing, Greg?
Nah, I'm thinking about trying some fugu. It's the blowfish that'll paralyze you, maybe.
Sweet.
Nice.
That looks like
Poison
the
fish?
right tank
Tasty
to
fish.
get blowfish out of. Sure, dude.
Poison fish?
I see
Tasty.
no potential problem with that, Greg. Well, before you do
Yeah, this
that,
might be the last segment with Greg Joyce.
let's see what other choices you've made this week in terms of the PRB.
Well, we improved Talakman's first add-on, I think, for him. Usually with themes.
Oh.
And this is called Performance Insta Image. And it will embed your Instagram feed right onto your website.
Sweet.
And that's some of Talakman's photography right there.
Nice.
Alright, what's the next one we got here? Looks like this is V-card.
Oh yeah, right. The next one is what?
Is it V-card?
You're not eating that blowfish
Yeah.
already, are you?
I can't speak. My lips
sorry.
so heavy.
I was texting. Yeah, this is download vCard from the Borb, and it'll configure vCard, and you can download it right from a block in your page.
Sweet.
And then next one looks like Elastic Text from Martin MB, and this will stretch and shrink text if you're using a responsive theme.
Oh, wow.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good. The last one is a John the Fish add-on.
See, but I'm not sure I have the screenshot. I can go try to find it. Hold on one
That's
second.
alright. Yeah,
I'm gonna cut back to Andy and Franz for 1 second.
it's not a
Doing
visually
a dance.
exciting theme or add-on. It gives you a PHP info. It's called the PHP info add-on. It's by John the Fish, and it lets you see information from the PHP info command in your dashboard, and it'll kind of parse it out according to the different sections. With some
nice.
buttons.
Nice, that'll be handy.
Yeah, it's like the environment page, but
Yeah.
we don't actually display everything in there because we don't want you pasting everything in there.
No, but I can see people in the forum saying, "Oh, I'll help you. I can use all this add-on."
Yeah, totally.
And then I can see what's going on with your site.
That's awesome.
Cool. Well, thank you. Good work.
Good choices.
Good choices.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Righty-o. Don't eat that blowfish. Where are we at now? I think are we at, how would we do that? Am I missing something? It feels so easy.
Did we get any
Brief.
forum
Nah.
posts?
We're talking about before.
Yeah.
No, people seem to be helping one another and
Yeah.
doing well in the forum.
That's awesome.
I think we're ready for how we do that.
Yeah, let's do it up.
How would we do that?
All right.
All right.
What do you got? What should we do today? Any questions? Any concerns?
I'm not seeing any questions posted in the chat. So if you want to ask a question, post it.
Yeah.
Go home. Have a pint on the way. Sweet. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well then, I'm trying to think if I told anyone how I would do something this week that was interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think it did. No.
Oh, here's one.
Ah!
This is from Jay Steele 123. He asks, what happened to the non-trailing / URL setting and canonical URL stuff we talked about, or Andrew talked about in his blog?
What happened to that, Andy?
That was always well, okay, so there is a blog entry in which I show some custom code you can use on a site to enforce that your pages are always at a particular, like they will either have a trailing / or they won't, but you can't, because right now you can actually visit any concrete5 page, remove the trailing / and the page will render and add it, but it won't redirect to one. And apparently search engines find this just highly frustrating.
301 problem.
Yeah, and so I know, and so that I added some custom code, but as you might imagine, it doesn't always work in every. It might be in the how-tos as well. I usually cross-post all concrete5 stuff. It's pretty old too, but I think at some point I allude to the thought that we might enable this as a setting behind the scenes, but we just haven't had a chance to.
There you go.
Yeah. So if that's truly important, there are any number of how-tos that that should show this, that should refer to this.
One of those things is it may or may not work in HT access depending on your
exactly.
setup. So it's kind of like where do we draw the line?
Yeah.
It does remind me of something that happened this week tangentially. Maybe it was last week. Someone was asking about putting full URLs in the page path redirects. So they had a legacy site that had URLs that was like, whatever, index.html or goofypage.php, gobbledygook, whatever. They wanted those URLs to point to new concrete5 pages. So in the past, that has been
we'd strip out periods.
Yeah, anything after that period you wouldn't be able to do. So you could make a vanity URL, but it wasn't. You couldn't map your old goofy looking stuff with custom page paths. You'd have to do that by hand with some HT access override. And so someone asked, and let's get a support guy on there. It turns out actually you can do that just fine.
Yeah, we added that in 5 something.
So yeah, a hidden, little known fact.
Yeah, so you can make your pages look like they're straight HTML pages if you're so inclined.
And that was how we did it.
Yeah.
It was already done.
It was already done. Those are the best kinds of doings.
Faves. I think we stuck a how-to in there anyway, so it was just like, just do it.
Just do it. The best kind of how-tos.
Righto, anything else?
Do we get any good how-tos lately?
That's a good question.
There's been a few released. We could take a look at those.
Let's take a look at those.
Straight up how-tos. Let's see.
Let Matt handle them.
Looking at the how-to.
I know I approved a couple of these.
Yeah.
What?
Looks like we have one from Evan, who works for the team here. We have one from Apos about increasing your PHP memory limit. Pretty basic stuff, but good to know.
Handy to have.
Yeah, good to know.
This how-to repository is shockingly large. Just keep going.
Yeah,
it's pretty nice.
It's pretty big.
Got a nice one from John the Fish about improving the rendering of jQuery plugins.
Yeah. And we had a couple about learning concrete5 from Drupal's perspective, but nothing from WordPress perspective yet. So there's still a sweet opportunity for a WordPress convert to write up some thoughts and notes about how they learned concrete5 and get on our sweet side.
I gotta feel like sites are easier to theme in concrete5 than WordPress. I just don't even. Someone's got to jump on that.
We're going to do it. It's easy. Low-hanging fruit, guys. Any other questions?
Here's one from Ale. And he asks, are there any performance bottlenecks that we're going to optimize in the upcoming versions of concrete5? Anything on our radar right now, I guess?
The page list class is always kind of brutal when you get to a large amount of pages in your site. And this is primarily not even because it's doing a lot of filtering. which, you know, and checking permissions, although that, you know, does slow things down. It's always the ordering of the pages, because if you're trying to, by default, when you're searching in the site, in your dashboard, it's always, it defaults to ordering by date, descending, and so it has to reorder the whole set. Even if you're only showing 20 pages, it has to ascertain which 20 to show. It has to get the whole set and move it. And once your page list, you know, like on our site, once you have, you know, 250,000, 300,000 pages in there, it starts to get a little slow. So we're always looking at a way to make that better. That could be a challenge, but because we're running into some kind of fundamental problem, but we're always looking at that. Beyond that, we are always looking at tightening up queries and caching stuff when that stuff gets slow, primarily around clearing the cache. When you delete blocks, it attempts to get, this is actually something we've fixed recently on bigger sites. If you delete blocks, it clears cache, but it doesn't even really need to. Because if the block is gone, you're not ever gonna
use it.
Yeah, so it would probably behoove us to be a little less, only clear the cache when it's actually something that needs to happen.
Well, then you're doing some file I/O improvements, right?
Yes, yes, thank you.
There you go.
In 5.6, among many new under the hood changes, much less visually different than 5.5, but a lot of under the hood changes. We are introducing the concept of an overrides cache, which for new sites is going to be on by default, and for old sites it's going to be off. If you upgrade, it's going to be off because
sanity.
Yeah, for sanity. And what this is going to do is you turn it off when you're developing your site and you're doing overrides and things like that, putting new block templates in your site.
So for context, this is the core is your concrete directory in the root, and you can pull files up the directory level and override basically any file within concrete5. Many files, which means when we're rendering the page, we have to go check in every directory to see if something exists.
And moreover, we have to check the one that's less likely to exist first because it's the override. So for 99% of sites, they don't override anything, but we're always checking on everything to see.
And you'll see people complain about this in the forums, particularly in cloud hosting setups,
like
because file I/O is weird on the
network
cloud.
access storage, like super slow, or much more. Every hit is significant, and so what we've done is, if you have this thing turned on, we store. What we do is we compute all your overrides at the beginning of every request, and if you instead of if file exists, check on every type of element. And then if you have this cache turned on, we actually just have stored that in the database as an object that we can retrieve super quickly. And then we don't check if file exists, we just know which ones are done and which ones are not.
Eliminating whatever. So
yeah, so we, there was the sort of stock concrete5 install I checked on 5.5.2.1, and it was there are 300 to 400 file exists checked to render a simple page. And then with not hitting every single file exists spot in the core, but hitting a lot of the low-hanging fruit. We got it down to 20 to render a regular page, or 15, so that's not insignificant, especially on slower posts. And then, there's a lot of work in that vein going on. We have improved the auto loader in concrete5, which used to work just with a few types. Now it works with everything, so you'll see a lot less loader calls, and that means loading loading libraries and models only when they're needed. So that's going to be
nice.
It's going to be nice. So a lot of stuff is definitely always on our radar.
There you go.
It's a beefy app, and we try and slim it down.
Got a question that kind of builds on that from John the Fish. He asks, will we be able to override more things and maybe from packages if it doesn't cost as much in terms of processing?
You will be able to override some things from packages. We are debating on how much we're going to let you do that, because yes, there is the ability in 5.6 to override just about everything from a package now. We are a little afraid of approving stuff that makes extensive use of that, because if you have two different add-ons that both override the page class, the last one's just going to win and you're going to get some really weird behavior. So we're taking kind of baby steps with that, but yes, you can.
And another one from him too. Is there an easy code option to force a block to render freshly without any block cache?
Fresh.
if the block, you mean aside from just making the block itself have its own settings set not to cache? Not really. To force a block refresh with, no, not really, unless you just clear its cache every time it's run, which is not very smart. There probably is, just we probably need to know more. We could, I'm sure, build in custom code to do that, but to know more about the situation.
Well, I think that handles all the questions we have in the chat right now.
All right.
Cool.
Well, it's been real.
Real good.
It's been exciting. I don't know if we're going to be here next week or not. We take next week off. Are you back?
I'm back on Friday.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Boom.
Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific Time.